was an all-consuming fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. After the fire, there was the sound of a gentle whisper. And that's where God was. Isn't that awesome? God was there in a gentle whisper. Elijah was expecting a flying fist from heaven. And God comes gently, non-judgmental. He came with no condemnation. He didn't rip Elijah apart. No. It was a whisper. The same is true for us. We need to get it in our minds and in our hearts that God is not waiting for us with clenched fists. He's waiting for us with open arms. Just like the prodigal son who came home after squandering half his father's wealth. With his head hung in shame, he was fully expecting to get blasted by his dad. His dad didn't say, "See, son, I told you. I knew you were going to blow it all." No. He greeted his son with open arms and he said, "My boy's home. Welcome home, son." God wants us to run to him, not against him. In Proverbs chapter 15, verse 4, it tells us that gentle words cause life and health. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 2 says, "Be humble and be gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love." When someone doesn't meet your expectations or when someone disappoints you, are you a raging wind that comes in and starts blowing everyone around? Or are you an earthquake that starts shaking people up? Or an all-consuming fire that just comes in and rages all over everybody? Or do you respond with a gentle whisper? Do you respond with gentleness? There's power in gentleness. It gets people's attention. I think Elijah was shocked at God's response. I know I would have been. We need to be gentle, not judgmental. We need to be in control of our response, not to react on a whim of emotion. Remember, gentle people have their expectations under God's control. The R in our acrostic is what? Response. Gentle people are proactive, not reactive. A proactive person is someone who is responsible. They are response-able. They are able to control their response. Their response is a function of their decision, not their conditions. A reactive person is controlled by the people. They build their emotional lives on the behavior of others, and they let the weakness in others control them. Reactive people are driven by feelings and circumstances and conditions in their environment. But a proactive person, although they were influenced by all these things, controls their response to other people. The term, "You make me so angry." Is that true? No, it's not true. You choose and I choose to react. We can do so many great things in our life, have great successful careers, be doing great things for God, be like lots of people. But we can't even control our own response. It just doesn't make any sense. It's crazy. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32 tells us, "He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his own spirit than he who captures a city." I want to challenge you. Are you in control of your response? Are you in control of the anger that comes out? How do we become proactive? Let's face it. It is a lot more natural to be reactive, but we need to learn to be proactive. And this is how we do it. First, we seek to understand, and then to be understood. Seek first to understand the problem. When someone says something that hurts you, take a second step back and think, what's going on in that person's life right now? What's causing them to respond or to react to me like that? I'm not saying that we should become a junior therapist. That's Kay Hender's job. We shouldn't try to psychoanalyze everybody. What I'm asking is to challenge empathetic to empathize. In Proverbs chapter 15, verse 2, it says, "The tongue of the wise commends knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly." Empathy is listening to understand, to gain the knowledge of the situation, to gain the understanding of where that other person is coming from before you start reading your own home movies, your own baggage into that situation. Oftentimes I get caught here myself. Sometimes someone like Lars will tell me something that at first sounds hairy, maybe a situation that's handled differently than the way that I would have handled it. My first reaction would be to go into the Incredible Hulk mode and say, "You did what? What were you thinking?" Isn't that right? But with years of practice and the understanding of the power of my own response, I'm making myself listen to the whole situation. I make myself see it from another person's point of view. And believe me, it's not easy. I can only do that by knowing the power of my response, by knowing the power of Christ in my life. And you can do it too. Empathetic listening is powerful because it gives you the accurate information from which to go on from there. In Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he says, next to physical survival, the greatest need of a human being is psychological survival. The need to be understood, to be affirmed, to be validated, to be appreciated. This one thing will revolutionize every relationship that you have. Remember, when you listen, you learn. The time that you invest in other people, and that you deeply understand them, it'll work for you. And you'll be able to interact with them on a daily basis. And that will reap huge dividends in open communication. Gentle people are proactive, not reactive. Gentleness is the power of your potential under God's control. Gentle people are far from wimps. They're tapped into the source of the creator of the universe. Gentle people have been surprised by the mercy of God. They are willing to give that mercy to other people. Gentleness probably wouldn't win any football games, but it will earn high points with your relationships. I believe that if we take these 5 things and honestly apply them to our lives, it will make a difference. If you want to change somebody, change yourself first. Bring yourself under God's control. And that will radically transform your relationships for the better. How do we bring our personality, our outlook, our words, expectations, and responses under God's control? In Isaiah chapter 40, verse 11, it tells us, "He tends his flock like a shepherd. He gently leads." Come on, praise team. Tonight, as we sing this wonderful chorus, "Gentle Shepherd," as J.R. last week said, why not let these words be the meditation of your heart, to ask the gentle shepherd, Jesus Christ, to help you in your relationships, help you in living on fruit as he comes and leads us to the secrets of gentleness.
Please rise.